There is another tribute that's going to be going on for Don Crabb, and you can see it on TV, boys and girls.
Mm-hmm. On cable.
On the legendary Big Fat Nude Hippo Show.
Tim Leschuk is with us. Tim, how are you tonight?
I'm absolutely fine.
Oh, thank you for joining us. How long is the Big Fat... Excuse me, Steve, could you push that button, please?
Okay, wait a minute. Let me... You want to do this? Okay, hit it.
The Big Fat Nude Hippo Show. Been around?
We'll be celebrating our 3rd anniversary in May.
And when did you first contact Don about being on the show?
You know, we ran into him at a function that was over at the Museum of Broadcast Communications on February 21st of '98. Mm-hmm. And ever since then, he became like one of our biggest supporters. He's actually held the record of appearing on our show more than anyone else.
Really?
Yeah.
Again, getting back to that time thing, how did he have time?
You know, and that's the funny thing, because when we first started the show, we used to be on at Saturdays at 10 up against his own radio show. And so we actually had to pre-tape his interviews to actually appear up against himself.
Didn't you do some simulcast thing with him one night?
Yeah. In fact, you know, this weekend will be exactly a year ago that we did that. We came into the studio, we spent the entire night with him, and did his show, our show. Yeah.
He loved a live camera and a live microphone.
Oh, yes, he did.
You know? He was not shy. Now, when are you guys rerunning you're going to rerun a couple things that you did with them?
We got 2 shows and 2 tributes. Tomorrow at 7, we will air Don Crabb's final appearance when he guest hosted on the Big Fat Nude Hippo Show. That's on Cable TV 25. And then on Saturday at 10 on Channel 19 in Chicago, we'll have a montage of his appearances. And this is only in Chicago. If you can't get the show outside of Chicago, you could go to NUDEHIPPO.com, and we have it also up there on the Real Player.
Mm-hmm. And now the first show that you're going to air, that's Thursday night?
Yeah, Thursday nights at 7 on 25.
Okay.
And then Saturday at 10 on Channel 19 is a montage tribute.
So did you ever think, as you were doing the show, Tim, gee, I wish the camera was rolling, because when the camera was off, he was just absolutely out of his mind?
You know, we had the free form where we have very few commercials and all that, so he was on a lot, too. So we captured a lot of that in film, and you'll get to see that.
Yeah, I was hoping there was a bloopers tape.
So Don Crabb, uncensored.
You know, if there is a bloopers tape floating around, we'd pay cash for it for our Christmas party here at the radio station.
Well, I would imagine that your take on Don was kind of like ours, that you appreciated, you know, obviously his computer knowledge, but just he had one of the most wonderfully genuine, spontaneous, quick senses of humor of anybody I've ever seen.
Yeah, in fact, I have no knowledge about computers, so the computer geek stuff didn't work on me. So yeah, it was actually his humor, his personality that came through, and then we also did segments with, you know, the 3 kids, Matthew, Stephanie, and Jason, where he would have them just bring on different products and review them, which had nothing to do with computers, and it was an excellent segment.
I'm looking forward to this. So again, Thursday night at 7 o'clock on Channel 25, and then Saturday night at 10 o'clock, a montage on Channel 19 in Chicago, or check you guys out on the web. You're busy guys, too. Gosh.
You know, but no one is busier than Don was. He amazed me. My goodness. He did more stuff in his 44 years than all of us combined currently.
Will ever do.
Exactly.
If you think we're kidding, go to www.doncrabb.com. And where is it on the website, Kristen, where it's like his resume with all the stuff that he does?
His bio. He's got a personal bio and a professional bio there. And it's stunning.
And they're equally as long.
There's this long list of stuff.
I mean, if you look at the places he wrote for alone, you know, and when you realize he was doing it concurrently in many cases, it's like...
Well, if you look at the WGN website, when I first started producing for him, I wanted to replace a lot of that bio stuff and make a joke out of it. So I did the Crabb Users version 101, or like a tech book, you know, and I think at the end I said, does this guy ever sleep? Yeah. He's everywhere. He, you know, is ubiquitous. Was
ubiquitous
amazing.
Crabb.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would kid with him, telling him, you know, he did like 17 columns a week. He did his own show, your show, Spike O'Dell, Bob Collins, boxing, our show. I asked him, did he owe big money to the mob or something? What was he doing?
Well, and then fitting all of that in with flying back and forth to the West Coast to work on that movie that he was working on, too.
Yeah.
And
not to mention the trade shows and stuff.
Yeah.
He,
Do all that
he fit that in.
To do all the research for his columns and his info. I mean, I don't know how he did it.
And to have time to play with games.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, Tim, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, no problem.
You got a great show, and we look forward to seeing Thursday night and again on Saturday night.
That's right.
Appreciate it. Tim
Thank you.
Leschek, Big Fat Nude Hippo
In fact, Tim,
show.
this conversation has successfully made us feel very guilty because, Tim, I know we've been trying to hook up with you. And
we don't have this, like we're
trying
to
to figure
sleep.
where have we got the time? But Don had the time, so okay, you've shamed us. We'll do it.
We'll do it. Thanks, Tim.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
We got a break for the news. It is 1 o'clock in the morning. This is Chicago's News and Talk, Radio 720, WGN Radio Chicago, a Tribune broadcasting station.